Hi everyone, welcome back for another tutorial. In this tutorial I want to show you how I created this image right here before the rain. Uh, this is one of the images part of the project 365. So this year I decided to focus on taking one photo every day, and each month I'm going to challenge myself and take different types of photos. So January it's all about night photography, but I'm going to show you now how I process this image right here. So I'm going to minimize this, and I've got some image I took. So I've got a nice underexposed image where I've got nice details on the lights, as you can see, not blown out, but everything else is really dark. So now this is a normal exposure image. It looks much better. I'm picking up lights from the road as well, because there's a road right here falling this way, and I'm getting a lot more detail in the shadow areas. Even the water is getting smoother, and I even caught an aeroplane. And now I have a slightly overexposed image, so I can get even more details in shadow areas, more light in the road, and right here in the branches of the trees. And also I get the smoother water. And when I did this, when I was taking this shot, it was raining, not too much, so the water couldn't be very smooth. So this is me, okay, I'm going to overexpose even more so I can get nice silky water. And this is what happened. It started raining a lot. So this is a no-no. So that's why the title of the image is Before the Rain. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these three images, different exposures, and go into Tools, Photoshop, and merge to HDR Pro. To save time, the image is already here. Very cool. So what's this now? So I'm going to be working in a 32-bit. So if you see it like so, change it to 32-bit. And now I've got remove ghosts right here. So I'm going to tick that, and what I want to see now is I want to choose a version that suits me best. So for instance, as you can see, the underexposed with still a bit of ghosting in here, so I don't want it. The other one we can see actually the plane, and the overexposed, it's actually quite cool. So we have more movement on the sky and in the water. So what I'm going to do is, because I'm using Photoshop CC, I can just click Tone in ACR. So what Photoshop is doing now is it's merging all of those three images together, and they're going to create me a 132-bit file image that I can work in Camera Raw, where I can do my adjustments. So Photoshop is doing its thing any second. So now we're back in Photoshop, and you just saw shift on the exposure on the image. It's Photoshop doing its thing, and now Photoshop will open in Camera Raw. And what I'm after now is the way I want to see my image, the way I want my image to look. So I'm not going for the proper white balance. I could try auto. It looks quite cool, and literally very cool, because as you can see, cool colors right here, even in the sky. This is not bad, but I want a warmer feeling to it. So I'm going to click in shade. You may not like the result, but it's your own personal taste, and I kinda like it as it is. So once I just change from a shot to shade, the exposure looks like it went a bit overexposed, but I'm not worried with that just yet. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure I've got nice details on the highlights. So I'll just bring down the highlights, something like this, and as you can see, I've got nice details on the lights right here. I've got nice details on the road, so that's quite cool, and I'll leave it as it is, even the building right here. So now I'm just going to open the shadows a touch. As you can see, it doesn't change much but it does change a bit. So I'm just going to open the shadows all the way up, and now I want to add a bit of contrast in the midtones. To add contrast in midtones, I am going to use clarity, and it gives a bit like texture and kind of a sharpening look to the image as well. So I'm going something like so, and it looks quite cool. So yeah, I would say I'm quite happy. I'm just going to probably bring the exposure just something like so, and I like it. So cool. What I'm going to do now, I'm going just sharpen the image, and now I'm going into the masking because I want to tell camera where I want sharpening to be applied. So when moving the masking slider, I'm going to hold Alt, Option on Mac, and I want just to have details in certain areas, something like so. So everything you see white, it's sharpened, it applied the amount of sharpening I just did. Where it's proper black, it's not sharp. So I'm just going like so, and now I'm just going to reduce noise just a touch. I shot this on a tripod low ISO, so I don't have a problem with noise, but that makes those pixels nice and tight and looks quite cool. And as you can see, not much, it's not a big difference, but it looks cool. So next step is pressing OK. So now I'm back into Photoshop, where I'm going to finish this image. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going just to crop this, and as you can see, it's not straight, it's not very straight, this building right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my rulers, so I'm going to view, and I'm going to show the rulers, and I'm just going to drag and see if it's straight, and it's actually not bad. Actually, it's fine as it is, so I'm happy with this, because I could come here and change the ratio to 16:9, which is what I did. Come something like so, and I could even, oops, don't know what happened. I could even get this level and make sure this was straight, but as we just saw, it was very straight. So let's go to crop, and now I've got my line set up. So let's go back, ratio 16:9, there we go, and I want something like so, and I don't want these buildings right here, so I'm just going to hold shift and just get rid of them, something like this. The reason why I hold shift is to maintain the aspect ratio of the image, so I'll go something like this, and I'll click OK. It looks a bit funky, the image right here, because Photoshop created a smart object, and this is what's happening now, rendering the smart filters. So when you're applying crops and other things, Photoshop disables the smart filter for the preview, but once you're done and accept the changes, it will render the proper image. And I'm just going, I don't have my layers in here, so I'm going to Window, Layers, so you can see what's happening. So there you go. So now I need to create a new layer, grab my clone stamp tool, and I need just to clean up a bit this image. So it's my computer's not working very well. This is my old computer, so it's a bit slow. And then there you go, I'm just cleaning these areas. Still looking a bit funky, so something like this, and like this, and it's not bad, but it's not perfect yet, so it's better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come here and create a new adjustment layer, and I want photo filter, and I like warm feeling to it, so I'm going to leave it as it is, And now I'm going to create another photo filter, but now I want a cool one. So I'm going right here into warming filters. I'm going to select the cooling filter. Now on something like so, and I'm just focusing on the sky because this is all I want to cool down a bit. So just a bit the sky. I'm happy with this. So what I'm going to do now is with this layer mask, I'm going to select paintbrush and I'm going to invert the layer mask so it hides the effects of this filter, and I'm just going with the brush painting in white, just bring back some of the sky like so. Let's check my brush, nice soft brush like this and like so. And if you want to see if you missed anything on the mask, hold Alt or Option on the Mac, click the layer mask itself, and as you can see I missed this bit in here. So that's okay now. And probably it's too much, it's too warm, so I'm going to double click and bring down the warm filter touch, and let's see, something like this, and I think we're done. As you can see, it was quite easy, only took us a few seconds. Probably I could clean up a bit more, like for instance there's a boat was going by and there's a trail in here. I could get rid of it as well, but as you can see, 32-bit HDR, shot at night. We've got details on lights, we've got details on the road, details on the shadows, and of course if you want to bring more details, you can bring more details. So let's say I'm going to open my layers again, and because this is a 32-bit image, it contains a lot more information, so I'm just going to bring levels, and I'm just going to make something not like this. I'm just going something like this. Whoa. So I've got more detail in here. Yeah. By the way, the reason why I'm using this machine, it's because my software is not very compatible with my new machine, which is Windows 8.1. So I'm working on a Windows 7. So with the layer mask, I'm going to invert the mask, and now I can just with a brush come here and bring some details over like so, and bring the opacity so we've got a bit more detail. So that's before and after, and as you can see we've got a bit more detail. I'll spend a bit more time, but you get the idea. And as you can see, a few minutes and then we've got a great image. And believe me, if I'll show you where this was shot, if I'll show you a shot during the day, you'll say it's impossible, but it's true. So just look around where you less expect, you may find a great opportunity for a great shot. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.